Love is sacrifice. Give me John 15 and 13. This is the best way. There's nothing greater than sacrifice. I don't care what anybody says. It's nothing greater. Read. Bring it out.
The book of John, chapter 15 and verse 3.
15, 13.
It's the book of John, chapter 15, verse 13. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
Well, what better love than that? And you know, when you mean laying down your life for that person, does not mean dying. It means you're helping a brother out. Whether it be with maybe that person, maybe that sister or brother is really sick and they can't really afford a medicine, and you had the finance means to help them with that medication. Maybe that brother needs help at the house. You know, doesn't mean you have to be prideful as a sister. If you need help, ask for help. If you're a brother, you need help, ask for help. There's a lot of things going in Israel. Don't assume. You know, back in the world. And then back in the world, when you hear the word assume, it was funny because they say, you know what assume means? When you assume, you're making a donkey out of yourself. Don't assume nothing. Don't assume, oh, my brothers know that I need help. But you never asked for the help. Don't assume, oh, my sister knew that I needed help. But she didn't want to help me. Bro, if you never ask for help, how is that sister supposed to know you really need help? We got to know that's true love. That's unity. Love for the brotherhood. Love for the sisterhood. That's true sisterhood. Because we got to know also that love requires sacrifices, like I said earlier. Sometimes giving up comfort. You sit back there and say, you know what? That sister right there just had a heart attack. Or that brother just had a heart attack. That brother pension, he don't receive nothing till the 23rd of the month. But he needs that medication right now. I'm sitting on $500 right now. And I know the brother really needs that medication. Am I going to say, hey, bro, don't worry, man. Hold on. Next week, you get your check. You can pay for the medication yourself. Nah, bro. I'm going to say, bro, what medicine he needs? Let's go get it. Because I love that person. I love my brotherhood. I love my sisterhood. I'm going to sacrifice whatever it is to make sure she's doing all right. And I'm not going to close my eyes and say, let God handle it. It's a joke that happened to me in Atlanta. You know, I was with a taxi driver who was, he was explaining to me this joke. And he said, I picked up this brother, from the airport. And he was a priest. He said he was a Catholic priest. And he picked him up at the airport and took him to the church, right? But the priest was broke. So when he took him to the church, it was time for the priest to pay up. And the priest said, may God pay for this. And he turned around, he got out of the car and said, yeah, God's going to pay for this, but you're going to give me the cash you got in your pocket. Because I did not waste cash to come drop you off. And he was telling the whole story. At the end, he said, you know what? I just gave up. I didn't bother it. Sometimes we think that God is going to do certain things, but it takes actions of you to do something. God can only show you the light, but it's up to you to go get it. If you don't want to get that light, that's you. You seek your own salvation. That light can only shine so long. He said, the example I'm going to give you, Luke 9:23. About giving your life for your friends, giving your life for this.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 9, verse 23. And he said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me.
Oh, what better sacrifice it is? If you want to have my back, They really back me up. If you're gonna sacrifice for me, you sacrifice for me and all, bro. Don't let your words say, "Yo, I got your back," and then you turn around and you really don't have his back. Yo, I got your back. Hey, he's on his own. She's on her own. Well, God's gonna look at you and say, "I got you. I got you." When you're about to get kicked out of your apartment, or you're about to, or your check, or your social security check did not get there, or your pay did not, or your last check did not get there, and you're wondering why it's taking so long, you got to sit back and say, "What did I do? What sin was I in? What do I have to God? What do I have to ask the Most High God for forgiveness?" There's something there. The Most High say, "You went for his check. I'm gonna hold it right there." That's called what? That's called judgment. That's called punishment. That's God letting you know you got to repent for something. There's something you did, and you got to go back and think of what you did and ask for forgiveness. Someone wants to say, like I said earlier, those small little sins, those small little hidden sins in the world, you got to think about what you are doing, what those little sins are. And we don't look at it. That's in Leviticus, I think Leviticus 51, right? The hidden sins. I might be wrong. I think it is. It talks about there's those small sins that we don't pay attention to all the time. You know? And we got to start meditating on those. And that's what started. Another type of love that we don't think about it is being a hypocrite showing love. How many think being a hypocrite showing love? Yeah, you're right. Because love is without the hypocrisy. Romans 12:9. Is that it? I got to look at it in a minute. Watch this. And I want you to look up the word dissimulation. dissimulation.
There's the book of Romans, chapter 12, and verse 9.
Read it out.
Let love be without dissimulation.
He said, "Let love be without dissimulation." He said, "Okay, dissimulation is a university word I never heard. You know, I made it to high school, never made it that far. What is dissimulation?" Some of them actually, what captains say that that's not a normal NIGER word. I will tell you, that's not a normal Hispanic word. But let's see what it means. Let there be no dissimulation. What does it say there? Concealment one's thought, feelings, characters, pretense. So God said, let there be no concealment among you. Let there be no bad thoughts among you. Let there be no character, no pretense among you. You can't pretend to be somebody. You can't be living in the same spot, sleeping in the same area with somebody that you don't have no love for them. You can't do it. You can't do it. Look at what similar words are. Mispresentation, deceit, dishonesty, lying, guilt, posturing, bluffing, concealing. Look at this. Masking, disguising, hiding. Bro, let none of it be between you. Read. Let love be none of those. Read.
Let not be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil.
Abhor. Definition for abhor. ABHOR. Watch this. No abhor. R. Okay, you got it. He says, regard with disgust and hatred. God said, let love be deceitness or hatred, that which is evil. having those nasty thoughts is wicked. It's of the devil. He said, I'm going to give you an advice, God said. Cleave into that day, which is good. Don't do that. Look what the right road is. Look, I'm giving you the light. I am your lamp. I'm showing you the path. Don't cleave into that evil. Look at my way. Look where direction I'm pointing you to. The scriptures have solution for everything. It has solution for everything, but you have to be when you are correcting somebody, you can't be a hypocrite. You can't sit there and tell somebody something they're doing wrong, and you behind the walls, you're doing something else. That's wicked as hell too. Because that means that you're being a hypocrite. You're going to the law, but you're not working on the law yourself. And God is going to judge you. And that's what we got to understand. Finish reading.
Abhor that which is evil, cleave to that which is good.
And this said, cleave to that which is good. Let's go to Romans 13 and 10. Real quick.
Romans chapter 13, verse 10.
Bring it out.
Love worketh no ill towards his neighbor.
Doing what?
Love worketh no ill to his neighbor.
Read.
Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law.
When you truly love your neighbor, you won't lie to them. You won't steal to them. You won't covet. You're not going to strive. You're not going to make stories about them. He said, God, that's keeping the commandment in the highest expression of God. When you don't do that, you truly love your neighbor. You're truly using the word love in there. That's why I said earlier, love is not an expression. Love is an action. Red? Go ahead. And we're going to close it here. 1 John 2 and 5.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 2 and verse 5. But whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God perfected.
Because when you start loving your brothers and caring for your brothers, guess what? God said, you're in perfection now. That's true love. God said, I got you. Why? Because the more you show love to your sister, the more you show love to your brother, you are applying the scriptures. You're being obedient. You're following the laws. You're being, Most High God said, oh, shoot, my brother's following the light. He's going toward the light. My sister knows where the light. He's going to the direction of the light. He's not turning around and following where the dark part is and try to hide himself. That's fulfillment. That's when you get to that point where you don't have no feeling for that person, that you say, oh, man, sister, I'm going to give my life for you. What you need? Let me help you out. That's God said, now he has fulfilled my law. He finally did it. Now he's fulfillment. He gone to the perfect side of it. But there is a tiny, tiny bit of hatred or disgust there. You're still not perfect. You still got a lot of work to yourself. And things are not going to come your way. You're married, you're going to see things happen in your marriage. You're married, you're going to see things happen in your house. The Lord, when I see things that are not right in my house, I call my whole house, wife, kids, all. Okay, which one of you are in sin? I do that right in front. I say, well, what you do? What you do? And I'll pick every one of them brain until I figure out which one is in sin. And I will say, go repent. I caught my kids, my daughter. Even my son that's not here in the body right now. Bro, I told him, bro, you're wicked as hell. I love you, but I can't stand you being around me right now. And you know what? It hurt him. Because when I tell my kids I don't want him around me, it's like I just got a bullet and shot them with it. And he cried to mama. Mama said, hey, that's your dad. Figure out what you're going to do. That's how I handle things in my house. And you don't think that people over your house don't see those things? Your Lord knows what's a sin in your house because he starts feeling it. And I'm going to tell you this. The first thing that happens when there's a sin in the house, financially. That's the first thing that happens. Always. And not just me speaking. I heard deacons talk about it. Captains talk about it. Even Bishop brought it out. The first thing in your house is finance. And if you don't fix it, it moves on. And then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Most High God, when that thing's laid, he's like, oh, let me fix it. And I'm just letting you know. Well, with that, brothers, shalom. Most High Christ bless. And if you haven't subscribed to us in Puerto Rico, what are you waiting for? Subscribe. Shalom.
Across the earth, the prophets move. From city streets to distant lands, the message is the same. Israel must rise. Through every quest, every journey, the truth spreads. No border can contain it. No distance can silence it. Our nation lives in every moment. In joy, we celebrate marriages. In sorrow, we honor our dead. On the Sabbath, we gather as one. Families rejoicing together, bound by the commandments of God. Yet are we tried. From the stones in Kenya to the hatred in Montana, we endure as a soldier of the Lord. And still, the mission expands. On the airwaves, on the screens, in every nation under heaven, Israel's voice is heard. We build our communities. We raise our children in royalty. We restore what was broken. We clean what was defiled. We show the world who we are. This is Israel united in Christ. Nation in motion. Nation endures.